Sawadee-ka, welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So I love basil. Thai, Italian, holy basil, I love them all, but I don't love how quickly they go bad and that they don't freeze well. So this idea was born out of when I had Thai basil that needed to be used up ASAP, but I didn't need any more food in the house. So I made a universal basil sauce that you can make with pantry staples, keep it in the fridge, and then when you're ready to eat, you can pour it onto any protein, put it in a stir fry, so many possibilities, and no more basil going bad, and a quick meal ready to go in the fridge. What's not to love, right? Let's get started. I'm gonna first make the base sauce, which is not unlike my universal stir-fry sauce, by simply combining oyster sauce with soy sauce, fish sauce, sugar, which I'm just gonna leave sitting here. I don't wanna stir it so that it doesn't fall to the bottom and then it's harder to scrape out at the end, and that's it. That's the sauce right there. Now, to our pan. I don't even need a wok here. Any frying pan will do. That's how simple this recipe is. I'm gonna put in a little bit of oil and just on medium heat. Now I'm gonna add a whole bunch of onions. Come on, spread apart from each other. Now, I'm gonna saute this until it's soft and translucent, but if you prefer onions to be sort of on the crisper side, you can just cook it minimally at this point. This is a lot of onions, but basically I want onions, which is a pantry staple, right, to be the vegetable of this sauce, so come time to use it, I don't really need to worry about adding more vegetables to it. It's sort of complete on its own. If you're impatient with the onions, one trick you can do to make it cook more quickly is add a little bit of stock or water at this point and just steam it. And the steaming will get them cooking faster. And then you can remove the lid and cook it down until it's browned if that's what you're going for. There we go. The trick here is I want to make sure the onions are dry before I add my next ingredient, garlic, so that it's not just boiling in the liquid. So go easy on the liquid. Okay, now it's nice and soft. I'm gonna go in with some chopped garlic and as an optional heat, Thai chilies. If it's looking a little dry, you can add some more oil to it. Make sure the garlic has enough to sizzle in. Okay, I'm seeing that my little pieces of garlic are starting to turn golden, then I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go in with some stock. Now, I'm using pork stock. You can use chicken stock, but the important thing here is that it should be unsalted. All of our sauce goes in. Then give that a stir. I'm telling you, this sauce is going to make whatever you put it on taste like something that your local Thai restaurant has. Your local Thai restaurant probably has some sort of a basil stir fry on the menu. Yeah, this is gonna taste like that. As an option, you can do some black or white pepper. See, everything is pantry staples right now. Except maybe this next one, which is an optional ingredient. I'm gonna add some black soy sauce just for some darker color and ooh, that's a lot. This is why you don't pour it straight on because it could be a little too much. I know that from experience. Again, as an option, because I usually have some bell pepper or pepper of some sort sitting around the house, I'm gonna add some of that in. It's totally optional, you don't need to add it. If you have any other sturdy vegetables, you can also add it at this point, like carrots or celery or something that you know will keep well. Okay, that is looking good. I'm gonna turn it off. And then in goes basil. I'm using Thai basil, but any basil will work. Holy basil, Italian basil, whatever basil that's about to go bad will work for this. And I'm just using the residual heat to wilt the basil. Now, this sauce will keep in the fridge for at least a week. This is the important part though. You absolutely want to taste this to make sure it is not too salty because you know, everybody's gonna have different amount of evaporation happening. So you wanna make sure this is a good salt level. Oh, so good. So good! Now, it might taste a little bit too salty, but keeping in mind that this doesn't have any protein in it yet, right? So when you put chicken or whatever you're gonna do, that will dilute it significantly. I'm gonna add just a splash of stock, but not too much. It should taste right now a little too strong. That's what you're going for. Here we go. Whew. And that's probably enough for 4 servings of whatever. Now, I'm not going to leave you hanging with this. I'm going to show you how to use it in 2 different ways. One as a pour-over sauce and the other as a stir-fry sauce. Coming right up. So let's take a break to thank and talk about our sponsor, Ombre. So Ombre is an at-home test to measure your gut health. But why would you want to measure your gut health to begin with? Well, there's a field of research showing that your gut is related to a whole host of health issues, including, surprisingly, your mood. So if you're having some mental health concerns, you should definitely talk to your doctor, but gut health might be another dial you can turn. When your gut lining is defective, it can develop cracks which then allow partially digested foods and toxins and bacteria into your bloodstream, which can then affect your brain. And it can cause depression-like symptoms and brain fog. Researchers call this phenomenon the gut-brain axis. Yes, it's a thing. This is where Ombre comes in. It's a test that ships to you, you collect your sample and mail it back for analysis, and they'll give you a breakdown of your gut bacteria profile and the health issues that it might be causing. Then the important part, they'll suggest what foods you might want to avoid and what to eat more of. And if you want, they also offer probiotics recommendations based on your results. So if you want to find out if there's a connection between your mental and gut health, visit tryombre.com/Pailin's Kitchen and get $30 off your at-home gut health test. The first way to use the sauce could not be simpler. You start out with just a piece of protein. I'm using fish. You could have tofu. It could be steak, pork chops. If it's something sturdy, you might want to pre-slice it. And then you heat up the sauce and just simply ladle the sauce over. How beautiful does that look already? Making me hungry. This sauce, as I said, works with anything, but my bias is towards fish. It goes super well with fish. And that is it. You get yourself a plate of jasmine rice and your meal is done in the amount of time that it took you to fry up that piece of fish. Now, the second way is to use this as a stir-fry sauce, which I will demonstrate with some chicken breast. Okay, I've got a wok here. I'm gonna heat up. And in goes just enough oil to cook my chicken. Oh, I think the gas, oh no, the gas is going. Goodbye. As I was saying, I'm demonstrating this with some boneless, skinless chicken breast just to show you that you can use the blandest of all protein and it'll be still delicious. I tossed it with just a little bit of soy sauce just to give it some flavor, and that's all. Okay, my pan is starting to smoke. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil here, and I'm gonna sear my chicken. Browning is flavor, so in the first little while, you do not want to stir and toss. You just let that chicken sit until it develops nice browning. Spread it out as much as you can, given the surface area of your pan. There we go. See, you want some color on the chicken. That'll improve the flavor. Now give this a toss, and then I'm gonna get this about 80% done, which it is. If you want, this is optional, if you've got vegetables you wanna throw in, you can throw it in at this stage. I happen to have carrots and celery, again, fridge staples, that I need to use up, so this is a good opportunity to throw them in. Mushrooms would work really well, so you can build up the sauce from just the basic as well. I wanna get this mostly done, and then in goes the sauce. As for the amount, because the sauce is already well seasoned, just whatever amount looks like a good amount. So you can just estimate by looks here, and that's it. How quick and easy is that? There is your quick basil stir fry done in a few minutes. I'm gonna give this a taste because I was sort of estimating or whatever, just to make sure that with the chicken and the vegetable, the sauce is still good, that I don't need any more sauce. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, that grilled, like fried chicken flavor is in there. I love it. Yes, no, it's perfect. I'm gonna leave it exactly as is, and I still have a little bit more sauce for something else. Let's plate it up. Look at that. Not bad for something that took like 3 minutes. Some sauce. Let me get some of that basil. So good. The chicken is tender, but has a nice seared flavor because we took that time. And the sauce, it's got the perfect balance of umami, salty, and a little bit of sweet. I feel like when you add basil, the sauce can really benefit from a little bit of sweetness because that sweetness goes really well. And man, it's unbelievable to me that you can make a sauce this complex, keep it in the fridge, and just throw it on whatever food. It will save your basil, but also save your life when days are really busy and you just don't have any time to cook up something from scratch. I'm telling you, if your Thai restaurant has like some sort of a Thai basil stir fry on the menu, this is gonna taste like that, but better because you made it. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. Once you make it, let me know how you use this sauce. What creative spin did you put on it? A special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters who help support the show. If you want to know what that's all about and you want to join our community, you can check out the information in the description box below. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.